Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Rants YouTube channel. It is now over. It is the weekend in Atlanta, Georgia is over, and it is now time to talk about Evolution. Now, this was an incredible, possibly 10 out of 10 PLE, and for a B plus PLE, comparing expectations to what we got, this might have been better than WrestleMania. Now, obviously, you don't get better than WrestleMania, but for what we wanted out of WrestleMania versus what we got, compared to Evolution, what we expected versus what we got, Evolution might have been better. Evolution might have been the best PLE this year, and we've had some great PLEs this year. This was amazing. Now, for a 7-match card, I predicted this brilliantly. Now, Great American Bash was the worst predicting I ever did. I think I got 2 right, and that was Obafemi retaining and Jordan and Blake winning, right, which was obvious. For Saturday night's main event, I didn't do bad at predicting. I just got one wrong, and that was Randy Drew, which, in all fairness, has just been slapped together, so who knew who was going to win? But this one, I was absolutely on point, impeccable with the predictions. Let's get into it. Now, the first match of the night was the triple threat match for the Women's Intercontinental title. Now, this was the match of the night until we got the main event. This was, it still might even be in competition for the main event. I mean, both of them were triple threat match technically, right? But this was a fucking amazing match, and I predicted Becky would get the win. I didn't think it was time for Bayley to take the title, and obviously Lyra wasn't taking it back. And get the win Becky did, but Lyra and Bayley really shined, and I think Lyra needs to end it with Becky and Bayley and whatnot. And I think we're going to get Bayley-Becky at SummerSlam, especially because the match ended where Bayley had Lyra beat. She was about to pin Lyra, and Becky rolled up Bayley and stole the pin. So Bayley's not going to be done with Becky because Bayley was 2 seconds away from having it until she got cheap wind by Becky Lynch. So that was 1-0 in the predictions for me, which is already a better start than I had for the Great American Bash and then I had for Saturday night's main event. So, great result for that one. The second match, I believe, was for the NXT Women's title. Now, call me a liar all you want, but go back and watch the video. Look at when the video was uploaded. It was uploaded the day of, aka beforehand, right? It was uploaded before Evolution. I said Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe beat Fatal Influence at the Great American Bash. Now, Blake Monroe is another big star NXT have. Her gimmick is more of a heel gimmick. I said she was going to turn heel on Jordan Grace, and they weren't going to put the belt on Jordan Grace yet, because when they do, it's going to be dominant. They want to put the belt on Blake Monroe first, have a big Blake Monroe-Jordan Grace feud. And what happened? Blake Monroe cost Jordan Grace. I mean, initially it looks like one of those accident things, you know, when the wrong person gets swung onto the title and Blake hits them with the title. No, this was on purpose. Blake did this on purpose. She turned heel on Jordan Grace, cost her the NXT title match. And while I'm not happy JC Jane's champion, I don't care. This is great storytelling. This is, while I predicted it, that's just me being a genius. This wasn't predictable. It wasn't. I'm a genius. I saw it happening. I had the vision. I'm the visionary. I'm better than Seth freaking Rollins, right? This was amazing. 2-0 in the predictions. The match, that was probably the worst match of the night. And do you know what the crazy part about it is? Is it was not even a bad... No, do you know what? Nah. Do you know what? That wasn't the worst match of the night. That was second worst. And it was by far not a bad match. It was actually quite a good match. But again, 2-0 in the predictions. I should get an extra point for predicting that Blake Monroe would turn heel. I mean, come on. That is just... It's pure genius. It is pure genius. The next match was the Fatal 4-Way match for the Women's Tag Team title matches. Judgment Day, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Kabuki Warriors, and Zaruka. Now, I said Judgment Day would retain. Zaruka won't win the titles. They weren't an established tag team, and they were the NXT team. The Kabuki Warriors obviously weren't winning. And Charlotte and Alexa, while they had an argument to be winning, I feel like it was Judgment Day's time to retain. The Judgment Day have just got all the belts under their name. They're not going to lose them just this early. And boy, was I right. But boy, was I shocked to see that Sol Ruka was the one to get pinned. Now, I get it. I get it. They wanted to paint the picture that Zarya, once again, for the 3rd time, has speared Sol Ruka by accident. And that hurts Sol Ruka, and they could take advantage of that. And Raquel Rodriguez could hit the Tejada bomb and pin Sol Ruka. And Sol Ruka has had 3 matches 3 nights in a row. She had a triple threat match. No, she had a Fatal 4-Way match on SmackDown. She had a one-on-one title match at Great American Bash on the Saturday. And then on Sunday was in that tag team match. And I like how they're pointing that out. So when she gets pinned as a champion, the only solo champion in that match, it didn't look as bad. But I do think, it wouldn't have harmed to, take her out of the match with that spear and pin Kairi Sane, even pin Zarya, do you know what I mean? It seemed like the wrong person to pin, but it is what it is. I'm 3-0 in the predictions at this point. What could I fucking care less? Do you know what I mean? The fourth match out, aka the middle match, Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus. Now, this was a miles better match than I thought it would be. I thought, obviously Trish Stratus has had her time. They were just doing this for the clicks, for the, not necessarily in a bad way, but just for it's women's evolution. We need to have Trish Stratus there. And to be honest, Trish Stratus, she must have been training because she held her own. It was a pretty decent match. In the ending, I liked the ending. Not because it was a specific spot, it was just the prettiest moonsault ever, but Tiffany Stratton landed that moonsault on Trish's head. It looked like it genuinely hurt, and it pinned her. Jessica Carr literally give her the Iggy or whatever they call it when she grabbed her hand before she countered the pin, just to check that Trish Stratus was shoot okay, because she landed on her head. That was a great match, and I predicted Tiffany would retain. No one genuinely thought Trish would win, and she got a round of applause after the match anyway, so I don't know if this is Trish's last match, but who knows. That was a great match. 4-0 in the predictions. I've already smashed Great American Bash and Saturday Night's Main Event out the park. Now, the fifth match was the no-holds-barred Jade Cargill, Naomi, Bianca Belair special guest referee. Now, it was obvious to me that Jade Cargill would win this. While there was an argument for Naomi winning it because she's missed Money in the Bank, and maybe there was a chance Bianca would end up costing Jade and would get a feud between Jade and Bianca. That wasn't the case. Jade just won Queen of the Ring. She's got a title match at SummerSlam. They don't want her to lose her momentum. Now, I think this was the worst match of the night. While there was weapons and there was cool spots, it was short, and it just, I don't know, all there was to it was really the weapons. And no one left this match bad. Obviously Bianca can't, but Jade got the win and she's still staring down Bianca as if they're not okay. And I want to see that story unfold, because why aren't Jade and Bianca okay? They always had each other's back. I just think it's weird that since the incident, Jade Cargill's come back and Naomi's been exposed. Bianca's never really connected with Jade, and Jade's never said now to Bianca what's going on there. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see that unfold. But the great thing for Naomi is, although she lost, something great happened later on in the night, which we'll get into. But that was 5-0 in the predictions. Then the Battle Royal came. Now, there was only really two realistic winners here for this Battle Royal. It was Stephanie Vaquer or Nikki Bella. Stephanie Vaquer was who everyone wanted to win. Yeah, she deserves it. We're honestly wanting to, what was the match? We wanted her to win Queen of the Ring. Do you know what I mean? And this one made sense for her to win. But unfortunately, with Liv Morgan being out, Nikki Bella was put into this match. So now I had to worry that Nikki Bella might win. And to be honest, the fact that Nikki Bella got added into this match made it better. Not for the in-ring action, but the fact of it added another mystery element of, okay, maybe she didn't. Because if Nikki Bella wasn't in that match, it would have been obvious that Stephanie Vaquer was going to win. But Stephanie Vaquer did win, and I'm great about that. And it didn't even come down to Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vaquer. Nikki Bella was eliminated fourth, I think. I think came down to Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and Stephanie Vaquer. And another interesting thing is Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame got thrown out straight away by Nia Jax. Sorry, were we not building them up on NXT? Did they not beat Zarya and Sol Ruka a bunch of times? I'm just imagining that. They did not beat them in a tag match. This is why I said they should have been in that tag team match, because if Zarya and Sol Ruka were in there, they wouldn't have been thrown over so easily. Do you know what I mean? But Stephanie Vaquer got the win. That's what was important to me. And normally, multi-people matches like that are the hardest ones to predict, and I got it right. 6-0 in the predictions with one match to go. Now, you could make an argument that was the worst match of the night, but it wasn't, because who doesn't like a Battle Royal? I love a Battle Royal. I miss when they used to do them all the time. I felt like they used to do them all the time, and now it happens rarely. This year we've had quite a few. I think we've had 3 or 4 in the past year, and I'm loving it. I'm never going to complain. But finally, the main event, it was Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. Now, this match was put together purely because they needed a good match for the main event. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, the two biggest stars. It makes sense. And then they had the story that Rhea Ripley never beat Io Sky. And then I had the thought, the way they're building up the story, it's unfortunate, but I feel like Rhea Ripley was going to win because they were building up the story that Rhea Ripley could never beat Io Sky. And Rhea Ripley is their biggest star, even bigger than Io Sky, even though Io Sky is huge, right? Rhea Ripley's their biggest star. I just saw it happening. right? No one would have ever thought Naomi would cash in on them, because everyone thought Naomi was focused on the WWE Women's Championship. And I thought the whole point of having Jade Cargill win Queen in the Ring and face Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam was so that Jade could win and Naomi could steal that moment from her. And because obviously they have that blood feud and it would be a moment, right? No one saw this coming. And you know what? The second the referee was knocked down, a bell just rang in my head and I thought, oh my God, Naomi. Oh my God, Naomi. Because if she's lost in a no-holds-barred match, she's on SmackDown, everyone thinks she's focused on the WWE Women's title, and this is what I credit WWE for. No one would have thought she was going for that world title. No one would have thought until that moment. And then we all realised, oh shit, Naomi can get this title. And everyone thought they were going for the WWE, she was going for the WWE Women's title. And that's credit to WWE for how the story told it, you know? I mean, obviously they can't do that every year because everyone would know it would be predictable. But I love that credit to them. No one even thought about it, you know? I even seen, like, Vibe Guys podcast, right? I even seen when they did their predictions, they thought Naomi would cash in on Tiffany during the Trish Stratus match. I thought, that's a bit bold, right? No one thought about this, right? Because it's such a tight one as well. Because people thought, like, it's Evolution, it's the big women's event, they want Rhea Ripley win. But then some people thought, nah, Io's too good as women's world champion, they wouldn't do that. No one thought about maybe neither of them win. Maybe neither of them lose their credibility. Maybe Rhea Ripley comes so close, but the referee's out the ring and she gets mad and starts kicking off at Io because she can't get a moment. Then Io gets so close to retaining it, and here comes Naomi to steal the title from both of them. It was genius. And I fucking loved it. I'm technically 6-1 in predictions, but am I really? Because Naomi was never in the equation when I did the predictions, and technically Rhea didn't lose. So am I wrong? Yes, technically, because I predicted a Rhea win. So I'm 6-1, unfortunately. But you know what? I'll take that because I have zero complaints about that match. And to be honest, until that main event match, Becky, Bayley, Lyra was the match of the night. But when I seen this main event, it was an alright start, but when we started hitting the second half of that match, beautiful. And just for the ending alone, it is the best match of the night. Fantastic. I have zero complaints about Naomi winning the title. In fact, no, you know what? I have one complaint. Why, Naomi, are you holding the belt like that? You are a veteran in this industry. You have been in WWE since what, 2010? Something like that, right? Why are you holding the belt like that? Where you're holding the strap while it's still strapped up. We can only see one side plate and the main plate, right? I hate when wrestlers do that. You're a professional wrestler. Hold it properly. If you're going to hold it with it still strapped up, make sure both side plates are shown, or you're holding it on your shoulder. Don't hold it like a fucking handbag. It looks stupid. Or undo the straps. Put it over your shoulder. That's where it looks best. Or put it around your waist. But regardless, that was Evolution. It was fantastic.